Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Bringing Up the Bench Press. You know who it is, it's boy Curtis, aka Flex. Now I just wanted to just show you guys week 6, session 1 of my bench pressing series. As you guys know, I'm hooking up here, and as I started off with, that you can see, I started off with T-bar rows. Started off with only just about 55 pounds on the machine, and I did about 8 reps. Then I went up to 65 that you guys are actually looking at right now. I just finished looking at, and I did 65 for 8 reps. Then I went up to about 75 or 70 pounds that you guys are looking at right now for another 8 reps, and I did 2 more sets of that. And that's how I started off with my workout today. Again, I'm just trying to, make sure that the back is right before you start my bench press, because if you keep your back is right, you're gonna get your chest tight. So I started off with 120 pounds. I was required to do 8 reps, but what I did actually 10 reps. Again, as I've been telling you guys before, I've been just trying to work on my form. As you guys might or might know, form is key, and especially when you have to have it control going down and control going up, especially in a powerlifting game. I've tried to make sure that my control is on point. So like I said, I was supposed to do 8 reps. I ended up doing 10 reps, and that was for the 120. And after the 120, I was supposed to do 145 pounds, and I was supposed to do that for 6 reps, but I ended up doing actually for 7 reps. I don't know what it was, but again, more recently I've been having trouble to keep it count. So whatever is clever, I just made sure that I got at least around the amount that I was supposed to get. And after the 145 for the 6 or the 7, I went into doing 170 pounds. It required me to do 5, but I did 6 reps again. But again, working on the same thing, just making sure my form's correct, making sure I did everything right. I also actually try to do is I try to make sure I had an arch on my approach, or on my way of doing my bench press this week. I managed to get somewhat of an arch. It's not more crazy as you might see some of these powerlifters doing it, but it was enough to actually notice a little bit of a difference from my regular way of doing my bench press. After doing 170 for 5 or 6, I went up into doing 200 for 3. I ended up doing 5, and then after that I went into 215 pounds, and it required me to do 2 sets of 2, but I actually just did 3 sets of 3. Again, I felt just like last week that I wasn't putting enough weight on the bar, so I just said, you know what, let me challenge myself a little bit more and just do a little bit more, just to have a little bit more fun with it. So again, like I said, I did 215, I did 2 sets of 3. And then I went into actually doing decline benching. So again, I wanted to throw in a little bit something different. So I went into doing decline benching. I started off with 135 on the bar. Again, I wasn't trying to do anything crazy or anything that's going to jeopardize or interrupt my progression on my bench press. Then I bumped it up and added 2 10s on this to make it 155 for 8, and just make sure I work it on my form. I wasn't doing arching or anything like that, but I wanted to just make sure I did it as clean as I possibly can. So after I did the 175 for 7, I did 185 for 8, and then I decided to start going into doing some incline dumbbell presses. Now, if you guys saw last week's, I went up to about 110 pound dumbbells, but today I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more. So I started off with 95, and I went for 6 reps. I wanted to do 6 to 8 reps. I managed to get my 6 reps. Felt good. Then I went up to doing 105 pounds, so I went up 10 pound increments instead of 5, and I did another 6 reps. Felt good again, and I thought, hey, should I challenge myself for 110? I said, no, why not? Why not just go for 115? So what I did is I picked up the 115, put them down on the ground, and said, you know what, let's try this out. So I went for 115 pounds, tried out for the beginning, and managed to actually just fumble a little bit. Didn't really get it upright, but I went in and I tried it again. 115 pounds is here, you guys are gonna see here, and I managed to get 6 solid reps out of that. And then I finished off my bench pressing by doing low pulley crossovers. I did only 2 sets, and I did AMRAP. So if you guys don't know what AMRAP stands for, is as many reps as possible. And I put 27 pounds on the machine, and I did 20 reps for my first set. Dropped it down from 27 pounds to 20 pounds on both sides of the machine there. and did another 15 reps. And that's basically how I finished off my bench pressing for session 1. Alright guys, now this brings me into session 2. Now instead of starting with 120 for 8, I did do the 120 for 8, but I didn't record it. So I started today's session with 145 for 6. Again, came in here, getting myself warm, getting my structure, and getting familiar with the bench. Just like on the first session, I was working on just mostly my arch actually, and I managed to actually get the whole arch thing down pretty good. Going into this benching session, I noticed that just the way I had my arch, I was managed to have my lats on the bench pretty good actually. So I did the 145 for 6, then I went up to 170 for 6, then I went to 200 pounds for 3, as you can see here right now. And again, was working on just trying to make sure I get everything down pat. And after this 100 for 3, I went for 225 for 2. Again, working on my arch, which again, like I said, is something that I was trying to find different ways to break this plateau, and the arch was one of the things that I've heard that is what helps you, or could help you a lot more. So I did the 225 for 2, and then I went up to here 240 for 1 is what I'm trying to hit. Everything worked out pretty well, as you can see there. Had my brief pause, which is required for powerlifting, and got it off pretty well. Then I had to bump it up to 250 for 1. Today I was supposed to be trying to at least hit my, if not hit the PR, at least attempt it. So what I did is I tried to hit a PR today. So went for 250 for 1, managed to get it off pretty well. Now this is 265 for 1. Now this is my current PR. Managed to again brace, get everything off, slow descension, managed to get it up, everything went fine. And then it brings me into 280. I asked a friend of mine in the gym to help me lift off and guide me as I tried to press it. So as you can see, went down fine, but of course to get that actual press just wasn't happening. So that's unfortunate for that day. And I try to keep myself calm and just went into doing the incline press machine. As you can see here, I did 45 pounds for 8 on each side. Then I did 90 pounds for 8 on both sides. Then 135 for 6 on each side. And I finished it off with 160 pounds for 3 on each side. Now I really wish that I could get, my main lifts or the actual bench press to be like this, because I'd be so happy and ecstatic, but unfortunately no. And then I finished off my session with doing weighted dips for 2 sets of 7 reps with 50 pounds attached to the weight belt. I wish that I could have made the R, but unfortunately it wasn't my day today. I'm going to actually try to either do a different program or do a regular 5-3-1. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think I should do, because I do want to continue the series and I do want to try to attempt to beat these PR.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.